Hello and welcome to the latest episode of the Low Budget Review Show. I am your host, Eric Smith, and today I am talking about Halloween Kills, the official movie novelization by Tim Waggoner, and this is from Titan Books and Blumhouse and Miramax and, um, you know. So this is what it says it is, a novelization of Halloween Kills, the second movie in the newest Halloween trilogy. If there's anybody that doesn't know, in 2018, a new movie came out that was called Halloween, and it was a direct sequel to the original John Carpenter Halloween. Nothing else ever happened. It's just the original, and then Halloween 2018. That was followed by Halloween Kills, and as of this recording, yesterday was the premiere of the final part of the trilogy, Halloween Ends. That came out on Thursday. Or on Friday, excuse me. I'm recording on Saturday. Halloween Ends came out on Friday. I finished this on Thursday, so perfect timing. All right, so I'll try to be as non-spoilery as I can, as I usually try to be. But so Michael Myers survives the events of the end of Halloween 2018. Laurie Strode is wounded and being rushed to the hospital. Characters from the original movie, Tommy Doyle, who was the little boy that Laurie Strode was babysitting. Tommy Doyle is Lindsay, the little girl that Laurie Strode's friend was babysitting, and the nurse from Smith's Grove. They're all at this bar with some other characters we're going to meet, and they learn that Michael Myers is free and is killing and form a mob. Meanwhile, Laurie and her daughter and granddaughter are at the hospital, thinking that they killed Michael Myers, and shenanigans. So, all right, right off the bat, really enjoyed this book. Now, I saw Halloween Kills when it came out on Blu-ray. I bought the Blu-ray and I watched the extended version. So that was the only version I had any awareness of. And that was last year, whenever it came out. When it first came out is when I watched it. So now, reading this, I feel there are some differences. But what I really like about this is, and the previous novelization, which I did review, the Halloween 2018, and I am going to get Halloween Ends, which I watched last night. But what I really like about this is that the author really gets into the characters and the minds of the characters, and for what it's worth, the mind of Michael Myers. Now, there's not much going on there, but he does get into it. There are some bits, some chapters that are from Michael's POV, and we get, again, what he's thinking, which isn't much. You know, he's basically just a shark. But we do get in there. But more so than that is getting into the heads of the other characters. And so things that may have seemed like stupid decisions on the parts of characters when watching the movie actually make sense when you read the book, because you know why they're making that decision. We're part of the process that's going through their head before they reach this conclusion. I'm not saying every decision is made smart. Some of them are still stupid decisions, but we at least see how they got there. But it also, I feel, changes the context of some of the things that go on. And we also get backstory and character development for characters who don't get it in the movie. So I really like that. And this is a book you without ever having seen the movie, you can pick this up, technically, you could probably read this with no prior knowledge. It'd be a weird thing to do, but I think all the information you need is in here. And it's really well written. I mean, Tim Waggoner, great author anyway, writes a bunch of original stuff, original horror fiction, does a lot of media tie-in stuff. I know he's done like supernatural novels. And then, I don't know about novelizations, which is a different thing than a media tie-in. So I don't know how many novelizations he's done, but this one, absolutely fantastic. I'm interested in, like, what material he had to work with when writing this. Does he have, like, the original shooting script? Does he have the movie, the Bible, you know, the character guide, all that stuff? With a book like this, it's so, well, let me put it this way. Halloween Ends hit theaters and streaming on October 14th, Friday, October 14th. The novelization comes out on Tuesday the 18th. So that's only 4 days. So it's not like the author has access to the final cut of the movie. And so there's always differences in a novelization that's coming out around the same time as the movie. When you're doing something like Encyclopocalypse, where they're doing novelizations of old stuff, they can follow the movie. But with something like this, you're going to have differences. There is one thing at the end, depending on how you look at it, I think it's kind of a big difference. But one thing at the end that really, I think it really works here, the change that's made works here better than the way the non-change, whatever, works in the movie. Hard to explain without talking specifics. After reading this, I watched the theatrical cut of the movie just to see, because I the way I was remembering it, I felt like certain scenes were in different orders, but maybe not. But again, I would really love to know all the material, what Tim Waggoner had to work with when writing this versus what ends up being the final cut on screen. I have to say, I really, really liked the extended cut when I initially watched it. But then watching the theatrical cut last night, I didn't enjoy it as much. It felt rushed. It felt like it was just going from set piece to set piece. There's still some things about it that I really, really did like. But I didn't like it as much as the first time I saw it. And although that may be because this novelization is so good. Really fantastic. I think I gave it 4.5 out of 5 on Goodreads. I may have to bump it up. It's a really, really good book. I'll have to check and see. Double check what I actually rated it. It's absolutely worth 4.5. And then I watched, after that, and this has nothing to do with this book, I watched Halloween Ends. And I'm not going to get into it. I watched it. I have thoughts on it. But, and we'll see what happens when I read the novelization of that. I'll be picking it up around the 18th. But Halloween Kills, Tim Waggoner, official movie novelization. Highly recommended. Again, even if you're not a Halloween fan, it's a good horror novel. Great characters, great writing. So there you go. My question for this video, I don't remember if I asked a question when I reviewed the novelization of Halloween 2018, but I will just ask. It may be the same thing I asked before. I don't know. Are you a fan of Halloween? If so, what is your favorite Halloween movie? And how do you feel about this new trilogy of films that basically does away with everything except the original movie. That should cover everything. Um, as for me, I'm Michael Myers was never my favorite slasher. That's Jason Voorhees. I've seen all but two of the Halloween movies. I've never seen the one where they're doing the reality show in the old Myers house. The one with, is it Busta Rhymes that's in it and Tyra Banks? Never seen that one, and I didn't see Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. And both basically because I just never got around to them. Like the original and the second one. I like Halloween 3, but of course that's not Michael Myers. After that, I think they kind of go downhill with 4 and 5 and 6. I lose track of where things go because then there's Halloween H2O, which brought back Jamie Lee Curtis, which was very WB, UPNCW, that kind of very Kevin Williamson. I Know What You Did Last Summer, Scream, Teaching Mrs. Tingle. It just had that feel. It had the pretty TV people in it. And then, as I said, I didn't see the one with Busta Rhymes. I enjoyed the Rob Zombie Halloween well enough. I don't mind that he gave Michael a backstory. I actually found that part interesting. It's actually the second half when he gets to remaking the original Halloween, where it kind of, that's where for me it starts to drag, and it's sort of it grates on my nerves a bit. There's a lot of very shrill screaming. But I do like Rob Zombie movies generally, and I enjoyed that movie well enough. As I said, I just never got around to seeing the second one. I like Halloween 2018. I like Halloween Kills and Halloween Ends. I'm still sort of processing. I like a lot of things about it. That's all I'm going to say. I don't want to, it just came out, so I'm not going to spoil it. I'm not going to say anything else about it. But I can tell you this. I will buy the novelization and read it when it comes out. I will buy it on Blu-ray when it comes out. So yeah, does that even answer the question? Oh, I do feel watching the extended cut, when I first watched the extended cut of Halloween Kills, it was the first time I really started to appreciate Michael Myers as an antagonist. I found that he was, and maybe it's me, maybe it's my age, where I'm coming from, my mood, but I felt he was very, very much more violent. That's not the word I was looking for, but there was just something about his portrayal in the extended cut of Halloween Kills that I really, really enjoyed. And so it kind of raised Michael Myers up a notch for me. My favorite one, probably the original. I know a lot of people love it. A lot of people have problems with it. It is a slow burn movie, but it's a classic for a reason. And I like Halloween 3 as well. But what about you? What are your thoughts on the whole Halloween thing? Everything. Let me know in the comments below. If you have comments, questions, or corrections, please put those in the comments below. Comments are open for spoilers. Just post a spoiler warning. We try to be polite here on the Low Budget Review Show. Please like, share, and subscribe. All the usual YouTube stuff. If you'd care to follow me on other social media, my Twitter is @Ronin5757. My Instagram, where I post pictures of books, comic books, board games, and fuzzy animals, is ErikSmith5757. That's Eric with a K, ERIKSMITH5757. That's all I've got. This has been the Low Budget Review Show. I have been Eric Smith, and until next time, read more books.